Is for Rotary today and for all of us as Rotarians and as leaders in our clubs, districts, or wherever we are. So let me start by introducing our team. I am Sandeep Agarwala. I'm the immediate past district governor from Zone 4, District 3141. I am going to be the moderator for the discussion today. On my immediate right is past Rotary International Director Kamal Sangvi, who's also a chairperson for the Rotary International Membership Committee. He's from Rotary Club of Dhanbad, District 3250 in Zone 6. And on his right, our very colorful lady, past Rotary International Director, Katerina Kotsali Papadimitriou, and she's from District 2475. She's from the Rotary Club of Pendeli in Greece, Zone 21. She's also the chair of the RI Districting Committee and the vice chair of the RI Programs Committee. And the initiator of today's program is past President Paritosh Runga, sitting on the far right, on my far right, on your far left. He's a past president of the Rotary Club of Mumbai Royals from Mumbai, India, in Zone 4, District 3141. So, without ado, I will now invite Paritosh to tell us a bit about what's going to go on today.
Thank you, Sandeep. So, welcome everyone to the today's session of keeping new members with the right onboarding. I am thrilled to see each of you here. I am excited about the opportunity to delve into the important topic together. Now let's talk about why we are here today. The purpose of our session is twofold: understanding the importance of onboarding and identifying the best practices. May I hand over the proceedings to IPDG Sandeep Agarwala, the moderator of the session. Over to you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Paritosh. A few things to note. This session is being recorded, I think for the purpose of Singapore tourism. Rotary International has asked us and we've given consent, so please note that. We've also printed some brochures which we've kept on the table on membership. It's very useful, it's updated. Now, if these brochures have already run out on the table, there are QR codes. You can borrow it from your neighbor, whoever has it. There are QR codes. You can download the brochure as a digital copy. And of course, if you have any trouble, come right up to us at the end of the session. We'll help you download the brochure. We've also given a few souvenirs as giveaways. We have keychains for each one of you. Please pick up one each. And should you not have a keychain, don't hesitate to come and ask us for one. And one final request: as you leave the hall, please do drop in your business cards so we know who attended and we can get some proper feedback from you. So, beginning today's session, the first question to the lady, Katerina. We have evidence that diversity and inclusion in our clubs improves member retention. What does inclusion mean to you, and how does Rotary benefit from being more inclusive?
Thank you, Sandeep. This is a great question. Inclusion means bring commonly excluded individuals or groups into processes, decision and policy making in a way that shares powers and ensures equal access to opportunities and resources. The diversity advocate Werner Meyer says, diversity means invite people to a party, but inclusion means invite them to dance. That is exactly what we want. We want dancing new members, members who are happy, who enjoy a Rotary experience in their clubs and participate in the life of the club. Don't forget, my friends, everything starts at the club. But unfortunately, sometimes we forget. We invite members to join, new members to join the club, and then we put them aside. And they feel a little bit excluded of what is going in a club. So we have to include them, because inclusion is a key to success. Our organization urges us to cultivate an equitable, inclusive and diverse opportunity and atmosphere in our class. And this is a duty of every Rotarian, new and current member. If we achieve to create such an atmosphere in the club, free of peace, free of harassment, and full of peace, then definitely the new members will be included and will give them the opportunity to maximize their capacity of doing good in the world and their service opportunities. So, DI is something that every Rotarian should enhance, initially at club level, then at this level, and then in his personal life. We are ready to open opportunities to create more paths to leadership and amplify our conversations to diverse voices and even reinvent the way we operate. So let's try, each of us, to be open-minded, to think out of the box and create a diverse, equitable and inclusive culture in ourselves, in our clans, and in our community. Thank you, Sadiq, for this question.
Well, thank you, Katerina. A very, very good answer. Equitable, diverse, inclusion. So come on, if you look inwards, the age-old problem, when we are looking at transitioning or continuing, let's say, older members, the newer generation coming in, how do we engage both types of members in terms of the programs and activities of our club?
So this is a fantastic question. Let me take off from where Katrina left. Katrina, fantastic answer. Inclusion. I leave it to start with that inclusion chapter. I want to amend your question. It's not a transition from the old to the new. I would peg it as amalgamation, the old with the new. The old brings the tradition, they bring the ethos, they bring the culture of Rotary. It's absolutely important that we do not lose sight of our ethos. The new bring the new colors, new hues, new thought process, new technology, new methodology. And this amalgamation, Sandeep, are required very much. So how many of you are 20 years and older Rotarians here? Can you raise your hands?
Wow.
Wow, aren't they beautiful? Look at them, they're all beautiful. How many are 10 years and younger Rotarians here? Wow, aren't they energetic? Now, this is where we want something. We want both of them there. That's where we will reach out. They have brought, the older Rotarians have brought us to this level. 117 years of service to the world, bringing happiness, bringing joy, being the joy creators, being the angels of giving. You have brought us here. Now it's time to use new technology, and that's where we need the younger one. Now the club becomes a beautiful place if both of them merge together. Either of them cannot survive on their own. It is extremely important that in our club we look after. It's the job of the elder Rotarians to bring space to the newer one. It is the job of the newer ones to honor the elder ones and learn from them as to what is required of them in Rotary Sunday. And that's where, when the amalgamation takes place, the club becomes a beautiful place to live in, and everyone enjoys the joy of giving and the joy of serving.
Fantastic. So what we're looking is a blend of experience and youth, and of course, you added a fourth dimension to diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is amalgamation. Very well said, Kamal. Thank you. Paritosh, leading on from what Kamal said, it's quite evident that one size doesn't fit all. How do you go about trying to customize each age group's delight, very akin to what we call customer delight, in your club?
Thank you, Sandeep, for this question. This is a very unique things we are trying in our club. So to amalgamate the younger Rotarians with the elder Rotarians, we have not formed any committee in our club. Instead of that, we have made monthly teams of each Rotarians, and we have divided every Rotarian into the monthly teams. And each team comprises of each age band, like 30 to 40, 40 to 50. And our especially our club has the Rotarians from range from 35 also and 75 also. So we are still inducting new and new members the way like the older Rotarians will retire. So once the monthly teams are formed, we allot them all the monthly programs, including the projects. So that particular team has to meet and decide and plan everything that what the programs will be for this particular month, and then execute also for that particular month. So for that purpose, apart from our regular meetings of the club, they meet outside in a cafe or maybe in a fireside meet. So that involves a younger Rotarian with an elder Rotarian. So there they can chat in a smaller group. The younger Rotarians can share the new ideas with the older Rotarian, and of course the older Rotarian can share their experiences with the younger generation. So in that way, it's going to amalgamate in a very fantastic way. And this practice we have adopted in our club for last 8 years, and it's going very fantastically. So this is the one best practice every club can try to adopt in their region also. Thank you, Sandeep.
Excellent. What a novel idea. So at the end of the day, what you're trying to say is that to enhance the customer, the member experience, to enhance their engagement with each other, you've come up with this idea and it's working very well, and you're continuing it year after year.
Right.
Very good. Kamal, how important do you think is the club experience to enhance retention opportunities?
Absolutely. I think experience, the new mantra in the bylanes of Rotary is that every Rotarian needs to have the experience he or she desires in Rotary. It's up to you. Each one of you can have a different experience in the club. And when you get a new member, membership to Rotary is by invitation. So when you invite somebody into your fold, into your house, it is our job, to make that person comfortable and enjoy the Rotary the way he or she wants it. So it's extremely important, Sandeep, that everything boils down to a club experience. So which are the two greatest reasons why Rotarians leave Rotary? The two biggest reasons. The two biggest reasons why Rotarians leave Rotary is, one is priced out, and the second is worked out. Priced out because everyone has paid a price or is paying a price for being in Rotary. You need your worth, you need your money's value. You need the money's value for the time you have invested in the organization. And worked out. Worked out is because you're not getting a good experience. You're not being involved too much. When you're not involved too much, your experience is not good enough. So it's extremely important that we all of us make sure that when a new member comes on board, we need to make and work hard on making the experience of the new member, right? Let me tell you, when the experience is good, no Rotarian will ever leave Rotary. If you involve a Rotarian into your club activities, into your project. And second most reason, the survey said, why do Rotarians join Rotary? Which is the biggest reason Rotarians join Rotary? Is the opportunity to serve. So it's extremely important that each one of us gives an opportunity to the new member who's coming on board to get that person to serve. So I want a raise of hand. Each one of you, are you going to look after one more new member who's coming on board and making sure he or she is involved in it? Can I have a raise of hand? Are you all going to do that? Yes? Make sure that you look after that. Mentor one Rotarian in your club, and then you'll see the club will run beautifully. Forget about going to heaven. The new member will go to hell with you also.
So what you are saying in short is involve them in service, involve them in fellowship, make sure they feel very comfortable and wanted in the club. And they feel that they belong to this, and that's why they will never leave. Katrina, as a past RI director, you have served one of the most diverse regions in the Rotary world. You were director for what, about 95 countries?
90 countries, together the two parent zones, 21 and 22.
So let's give her a big warm applause.
Wow. So Katrina was the queen of almost half the Rotary world. How would, when it comes to serve this diverse region. Could you share an eminent example of membership growth and retention in this region?
Yeah. First of all, to explain, Zone 21 covers Eastern Europe, part of Southern Europe, part of Central Asia, and Middle East. And Zone 21 is paired with Zone 22, which is Africa, the whole Africa. So you can imagine, the span of these two zones together. It's a beautiful part of the world. Allow me to believe it's one of the most exciting parts. But unfortunately, our beautiful region has suffered from a lot of natural disasters and conflict. The war in Ukraine, the situation in the Middle East now are really things that deserve our concern. I was director at the time in 2022 when the war in Ukraine started. Believe me, it was a very, very hard situation for all of us. I received hundreds of telephone calls, emails every night. I stayed late in the evening to answer the emails. I answered to all of them. Rotarians wanted to help, and they didn't know how to do that. So in a very, very short time, we set up an extraordinary system. We created hubs, humanitarian hubs, at the borders of Ukraine, where the help coming from Rotary should be collected, and then through Rotarians, local Rotarians, was distributed whenever needed. Only through our foundation, in a very short time, we collected over that $15 million US, and through disaster grants and global grants, we offered substantial support to Ukraine, medical equipment, medicines, water. Water is very important because the water was polluted, filtration of water, and so on. Clothing, food, whatever needed. So it was really a whole system that worked in a perfect way, and we could use that whenever we faced similar unfortunate situations. Hope we don't have more, apart of the situation in the Middle East right now. So what was the result of this support? In Ukraine, which is a small district, 2232 is the number, we had an increase of membership of 460 Rotarians in a period of war. And we didn't lose any Rotarian apart those who had to leave for obvious reasons from the country. Considering that the Ukraine district is a small district, this increase represents a 57% increase of membership. Isn't it amazing? In 2 years, they deserve a big applause. It's amazing. 40.6 almost increase of membership in such tragic situations. That shows that the people in Ukraine appreciated a lot our support, and that this highlights the best way the importance of service. If people see results, they're convinced that they can join Rotary. And we increased also the number of Rotaractors. Now the district counts 1,540 Rotary members, plus including 370 Rotaractors. Amazing, amazing. So thank you for all you are doing for Ukraine. Thank you for all you are doing for countries that are suffering. And believe me, Rotary members, and when I use the word Rotary members, I mean Rotarians and Rotaractors, were the protagonists of this support. They are still working hard, they are mobilized, and let us hope that this disastrous war comes to an end, and then Rotary will help Ukraine to a significant reconstruction and be a global country as it has been in the past. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Unbelievable. Amazing. I mean, fresh flowers blooming in such a war-torn area is something quite incredible. Thank you, Katrina, for everything you've done and the beautiful answer you've given. Paritosh, do you believe that new member orientation is the key to retention?
100% Sandeep. Just an example, we as a businessman employs a person in our company and ask him to come and sit on a desk and expecting a great result from him or her without telling him what is his job profile and what company is doing. So similarly in Rotary also, once we are inviting our friends to become a Rotarian, it's our first duty to explain him or her about our organization. So that is the part of the orientation. So once we invite our friend into Rotarian and he or her is inducted into the club, we should become their mentor, we should become their buddy. I am using a new word called buddy. Maybe some region already using this word buddy. So once they are a part of our club, we should be with them in all the programs and all the projects and keep explaining them about the activities, the projects, how a club is doing or a Rotary as a whole internationally doing. Like we have 7 areas of focus, we should explain them that these are the 7 areas. We should explain them about the structure of Rotary, Rotary Foundation, how the Rotary Foundation was formed by Arch Club. And even in the club activities, we should ask them to present themselves as their vocation. So maybe some other Rotarian may be interested in his particular vocation, so unless he introduces himself on a stage or on a platform, the other people won't know about him. So if we are allowing the new member to express their feelings and express their thoughts on the platform, definitely they feel inclusive in the club. So that will be the very key point, that orientation is very important for the retention. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Paritosh. So very interesting what the parallel you drew to a job description. Well, as an employer and employee, we do give a job description to the new person so that he or she knows exactly what is expected of her and what she or he can expect from the new job. Similarly, I think, as you very rightly pointed out, it's our responsibility to indoctrinate the new member with their roles and responsibilities and automatically what are the benefits they will derive out of the organization. And unless we give this to them before they join, sometimes they find themselves as misfits. So it's very important that when you bring them into the club fold, before you formally induct them or make them a member, make sure they understand what their roles and responsibilities are going to be, what are their obligations, and what they can expect from the club by way of return. So thank you, gentlemen. That brings us to the end of this panel discussion. We have lots more for you. We have a short skit right now. It's laced with a bit of humor, taken with a pinch of salt. And after that, we will invite question and answers from some of our dignitaries who are here, and of course from the audience. There is going to be a mic placed on the stand here. Do come up to the mic at that time and announce your name and club and district number and ask a question. No comments, please. Just questions. We'll be very happy to try and answer it if we know the answer, that is, right? So, can we get down from the stage?